Okay, so this is like take two because started down one path and ADHD kicked in, went down another path that I didn't want to go down on the previous video. So I'll have Stacy post it at a later date because I wasn't going to get off into the car stuff. Just touch on a little bit and then move on, and kind of got hung up on part of it. So I want to talk to you about what's on my head, and that's what happens. This shit gets on my head, and that's when I do these videos, or when you guys ask a question or want to know something. So we didn't make race week with the Corvette. One of the reasons is, we just ran out of time, and I need to go back out in the field and help my guys out because we got a lot of work. We got a lot of work piling up, and we need to pick up the pace. So I got some of the best guys that I've ever had in my life out there. But there's ways of doing stuff that can be a little faster. So I'm going out to teach them the way that I do it more than the way they do it, because when it comes to metal buildings and when it comes to structural steel, I'm pretty damn good at what I do. So with that being said, that took away, well, it's taken away from the car until today. Today would be the first day that I actually get back on. I've been coming down here at night, been here since, 3 o'clock this morning. So I'm working all day and then coming down here at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, working till 5 or 6 and hauling ass to the job site. But here's the thing that I want to talk about that's kind of weighing on my head a little bit. And it's not about me, it's about you guys. So not all of you, some of you may not even be fans or may not even fall into this category. But right now there's a lot of money because, people didn't spend money. You got stimulus money, you got a lot of things going on, and there's an abundance of money. Things are selling higher than they ever have. A sheet of OSB now $70, which is fucking stupid. The housing market, the $200,000 houses are bringing, 20-30% over asking price. New cars or used cars are absolutely through the roof because they can't get new cars. And houses going here in Oklahoma for $325 a foot. That's unbelievable. Buildings you can't get for 18 to 22 weeks, and they can only hold the bid for 5 days. It's all these, supposed lumber shortages and steel shortages. And the fact of the matter is there's no shortages of the shit. That's the bad part about it. I've had you guys send me private messages with pictures of logging trucks and lumber mills that's got shit stacked up. And a friend of mine that works at one of the big major, I won't kick him under the bus, one of the big major construction supply stores, the big ones that everybody goes to, told me, he said, they're just not taking anything because they're driving the price up. Greed is a motherfucker, guys. Greed will be the demise and destruction of everything that we love and hold dearly. I promise you that is, when they say money is the root of all evil, it absolutely is. It's just a necessity to live. Because if there was no currency, everybody had to trade or work, and like it was back in the old days, it'd be interesting to see how many people wouldn't be where they're at today and how many people that are not where they need to be in life would be. So I'm driving to work and I look over and I see this, trailer house, single wide trailer house. I'm not knocking trailer houses, guys. I've lived in 3 different times. I've lived in a trailer house, but I'm looking at a, kind of a raggedy trailer house, and sitting right out front of it is a brand spanking new 20, because I've been looking at them. I've been looking at them to get a 4-seater instead of the 2-seater that I have. Brand new RZR. And I mean, it's jacked up. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's $25,000 buggy set in front of this trailer house. And then a little bit further down the road, I look, and there's a older house, not a nice house, kind of down there, right about with the trailer. And sitting in front of it is a brand new $50,000, $60,000 truck. And I see this because we're doing a job in Ada, and I'm driving, hour and 15 minutes, and I like driving those back roads anyway, and I'm looking at this stuff and I'm thinking, man, this is not. Do people not realize that this is gonna bust? That we print our own money, and they've been printing the shit out of this money, but there's nothing backing it. Guys, be careful. If you have extra money, you might want to hold on to it. You might want to turn around and I'm not saying, I work like I do to have nice things and do the things I want to do. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying, stay in your house and hoard all your money. Spend your money and have a good time and all that. But there's bad times coming on us, guys. And I would love for everybody in the world to be able to say, fuck you, Reaper, you were wrong. I would love that. That the economy never drops, it picks up, it stays up. I would love that because that means I'm doing well. When the economy's down, nobody does well. But the driving of inflation, and that's what this is. They're calling it temporary inflation. No, it's greed. When we got steel and we have lumber and all the things that, all these shortages that are coming out, there's some of them that aren't really shortages. They've done it with gas for years. They've talked about there be a slump in fuel, and then all of a sudden this happens or that happens, and they drive the price down, and all of a sudden gas goes down. But everything, and I said this on a video once before, think about this. Back when when I started driving, gas was like 60 cents a gallon, 59, 60 cents a gallon. Now I'm 52 years old. So, and I remember when gasoline kept going up and going up, going up, going up, going up, and then it would come back down. But it never come back down to where it was before. To me, that's conditioning. That's conditioning people to get used to it. Think about a few years ago when gas went to $6 a gallon. Everybody was blowing a gasket, losing their shit. They stopped driving because some people couldn't afford to even go to work. And all of a sudden, gas came back down. So it went from, and at the time before it went up, it was like, I don't know, $1.80, $1.90. And then all of a sudden it shot to $6+ a gallon here. Diesel went through the roof. And everybody's bitching and complaining, and all of a sudden everybody quit driving and people started slowing down, and the lakes started not having people on them. It was driving the economy down. All of a sudden shit, I don't know, something happened, they say, and all of a sudden gas prices started coming down. But they never went back to that $1.89, $1.79 that it was. It came down to $2.35, $2.25. And up until COVID, it's never dropped back down even close to where it was before that gas hike. But here's the amazing part. Here's where the conditioning comes in. Because a year before that happened, you would have drove past a place and seen a sign that said, unleaded fuel, $3.85 a gallon. You'd have said, you're a fucking idiot. But when it went to $6 a gallon, when you see that $3.85, you're locking the brakes, sliding the car, trying to get your ass to that pump to get that cheap gas. Conditioning. And if you think our government don't condition us, come on, guys. Think that COVID was anything but all of this. I just hope that a lot of you that are doing better than you've done in the past, and that's great. That's wonderful. I hope everybody just kind of thinks about, for every up there's a down, for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. So think about, the better that it gets, the worse it's going to be when it falls. This is how serious I am about it. I love my Ford Dually. I bought that truck, and it's one of 8 with this black with a kind of a blood red interior, and it is a gorgeous, beautiful truck. First Ford I've ever owned. Love that truck. Probably will never buy another Duramax, believe it or not. And I'm a Chevy guy through and through, but I love that truck, love everything about that truck. I was told the other day, hey dude, guy that just sold his Duramax for stupid money over what it was worth. He said, man, he said, you probably get, way over book value, 65,000, 70,000 out of that truck because everybody wants them and nobody can find one. Guys, as much as I love my truck and I don't know very much on my truck, I'm gonna sell my truck because to me, if I could sell that truck for damn near what I paid for it a few years ago, I can put that money in the bank, and when all this shit settles down, I'll drive my '08 Z71 that I bought brand new. I mean, interior and it's nice, and it's not a bad truck. It's just an older truck. But I'll drive that son-of-a-bitch. Stacy, you know, I'd bought a Denali that I gave to her when we got remarried, and you know that Denali that I paid, actually got that from Ryan. Paid 40 for it or something. You know, they said the other day, somebody popped off that you know they'd give $52,000 for it. It's fixing to go. She can drive my Spark, or we'll go get her Tahoe. It's interiors in all our cars nice. Sometimes they get a licking on the outside. Hers has been hell damaged and it's beat up. I bought my new truck, and not too long after that, I bought her that Tahoe, but it's pretty beat up. I told her, I said, hey, it still runs great. 300,000 miles on it. The interior still looks like it's got 50,000 miles. I say, hey, we put $5,000-$6,000 in that, put a new motor, whatever you want to do, dress it back up, repaint it, and make it really fucking nice again. Probably about $6,000-$7,000. And for Stacy to see it, well, Stacy don't see this shit like I do. But for her to sit there and go, I agree, because Stacy likes driving nice stuff and she likes having nice things, just like I do. She won't sacrifice like I will. If it comes to it, I won't think twice about getting rid of something. But Stacy doesn't really, and I was surprised, I was shocked, I was amazed, and it also kind of made me go, wow, even she's realizing how bad this is gonna be. So, I'm not telling you how to live your life. I hope I'm wrong. But it's to the point that I'm gonna get rid of some stuff and put money back and just let it sit there, because eventually it's gonna go bad. And it, like I said, it's conditioning. It goes up, it comes down, but when it's here and it goes up and it comes back down, it don't ever come down to here. It comes down to about here, about that far up from where it started and goes back up. So I think the lumber companies, the steel companies, you know, all these people that are holding shit back to drive the prices up, I think you're pieces of shit, to be honest with you, and you're crooks. It's no different than oil and gas when those guys would turn around and hold that shit back to drive the price up. You know, one of the biggest problems that we have in America is the fact that we don't produce anything anymore. You know, everything comes from China, Taiwan, you know, Vietnam, wherever. You know, if we went back to being a producing nation, we'd be a strong nation again. And I hope and pray that some of you guys that's sitting at home that's not working at some point are gonna realize that if you don't get back to work pretty quick, you may not have a place to go back to, because none of the big places or multi-billion-dollar corporations are not gonna be affected by this shit. It's the little guys that are gonna be affected. It's the smaller companies. It's the companies, when I say smaller, it's the companies that employ, you know, 30, 40 people or 50, 60 people, not the ones that employ thousands and thousands, because all of them got huge money. So that's why I've never got down on anybody for getting a stimulus check, because those businesses that applied for them, I didn't get any. Be perfectly honest with you guys, I didn't even apply for it, because I never ran out of work. I never quit working. So why take from somebody? Why would I want to take, basically in my eyes, food out of somebody's mouth that needed it more than I did? I could have got a big fat check, and for what? I was still working. I'm not gonna take something that I haven't worked for. I'm thinking of a good way to put this. if you don't need it, don't take it. I mean, that's just how I am. If I needed it and I needed the assistance, keep my guys in check, I'd do it. Tell you exactly what I did. Matter of fact, tell you what I did. I went and took my shop that was bought and paid for, and I took out a line of credit on it. That's what I did. So one guy said, boy, if we ever find out you got a stimulus check, well, I promise you that will never happen. But I'm not down to anybody for the stimulus checks. I'm not down to anybody for sitting at home and making more money than they've ever made in their life. Hey, that's great and wonderful, but guys, plan and be ready for the other shoe to fall, because it's gonna happen. I don't care what anybody says, and God, I hope I'm wrong, guys. Because when it goes bad, it's gonna be all bad, and it's gonna be bad for a minute. And I don't want that. I am one of those rare people, I love to see everybody doing good. Even if I don't like you, I still don't want to see you struggle. Because I have struggled my whole life. I have fought for everything that I've got. I've worked for everything I've got. I haven't had an easy life, but I'm not complaining about it because it made me the person I am. So, but I don't like seeing anybody go do bad. I don't like seeing anybody, struggling to pay their bills. I don't like seeing any of that. I want to see everybody do good. I don't hate on nobody for doing good. There's a couple friends of mine. One of them, I'm not going to say his name because I'm putting him out on Front Street, but everybody kind of bust on him a little bit behind his back. They won't say it to his face because he's a super great guy. He's got all kinds of money. Yeah, but they don't look at what he sacrificed to get where he's at today. And all it does when he acquires another company or he does something that benefits him and makes him more money, I'm like, oh yeah, dude, great, awesome. I like seeing that shit because that just makes me drive even harder. But at the end of the day, guys, what's good now is not gonna stay good. And if I'm wrong, and God, I hope I'm wrong. You guys have no idea how bad I hope I'm wrong. But make some plans, plan for it, because at the end of the day, if you put some money aside, set some money aside or whatever, and things go bad, great, you got something to fall back on. But if it don't go bad, well, fuck, you just got, there's nothing wrong with putting it back just to see. It's just my opinion, that's my 2 cents for whatever it's worth. All right, guys, we'll talk about NPK and all that shit some other time. Actually got off on that tangent a minute ago, and that's why I said, and started another video. Woo, 17 minutes, time to go.